This is Diary of an Artist. I'm Stuart Semple, and I thought it might be nice to read out some of the articles I've been writing lately, because I know a lot of you like to listen to things while you paint, walk the dog, go about your day-to-day business. I don't know what you do, but reading articles isn't always convenient, especially if you're driving. But if you do want to read my articles, head over to diaryofanartist.co.uk and you can see them with all the pretty pictures. Anyway, before we dive in, just remember, creativity and art is for everyone. Before we start, I just want to say this episode does contain themes of suicide and mental health issues, so that may be triggering for some people, so be a little bit careful. This one might not be for you. This is Dumping the Middleman, my social media ex, or aggro at the Algo Disco. It's 8:30 a.m. and a little snotty kid asks another kid, "Can I play too?" Only to be told to get lost, flathead. Meanwhile, somewhere else, the sun kisses the horizon, the sky painted in the prinkest pinks, trumpish oranges, and princely purples. An utterly awesome natural artwork, scattering its awe to anyone and everyone who can see. The sun never asks for a credit card, your educational certificates, or proof of nationality. For thousands of years, humans have held the power to gatekeep beauty. And although we've never got anywhere close to nature, the closest we've come to that sunset is within our art. The control of that is power. The Wow Wide Web. Then, in 1991, the first website was born. Actually, it was info.cern.ch, but that's another story. A new kind of public, a space available to all. It would liberate our access to knowledge, information, and ultimately each other. We were going to be connected, and we had no clue where it would end. People told me it would be a fad. It wouldn't last. I told a journalist back in 2000 that I could see a future where people would almost live on the web, and that I could see people buying things, everything from clothes to even food. She laughed. I called a gallery, read out my web address so he could see my work. He told me he wanted me to mail physical slides and said, "The internet might be something you do in the regions, but here in London, we take things a bit more seriously." Teenage angst. I was frantically painting through a raging anxiety disorder. 3 paintings a day for a few years, 3,000 in total. The only time I felt free and that the anxiety would stop was when I was painting. Catharsis is fine, but to really heal, I needed to share this stuff. I died for a few seconds from a fatal allergic reaction whilst at art school in the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. A 19-year-old visiting home for the first time, flopping out of a taxi, near death, on my mum's doorstep. A 2 a.m. drip I was allergic to, bought a flatline, and an experience I'd never understand or forget. Like Kate Bush, I made a deal with God. If I get through this, I'll make art. I've kept that deal every day of my life. But when the swelling went down and I could finally talk and walk, I discovered an eating disorder and a list of 52 allergies plus daily panic attacks. Art is for everyone. So the painting helped, and I wanted somewhere to share it. In 2000, eBay was the only place you could really upload an image. In those days, Facebook wasn't even a twinkle in the 14-year-old Zuckerberg's eyes. Anyway, every day people started buying these anxiety paintings, 3 of them a day for years. But that's not the point. I wasn't putting them up to get paid. I was putting them up to connect, to try and understand what was going on in my head, so I wouldn't feel so alone. And real people, normal people, were collecting them. I was connected. I was understood. This was the promise of the internet. No middleman. Me and the audience, like sunset and the witness. Nothing in between. The internet meant art could be for everyone. I was in love. On the other side of the pond, Aaron was writing code. He was almost 14, and RSS 1.0 would become the way information was shared around the web. He'd then go on to help develop Creative Commons, Markdown, stuff for Python, and then the biggie, essentially the basis of Reddit. Aaron wanted information to be available to everyone, and he knew the internet could do that. I wanted art to be for everyone, and I knew the internet could do that too. I'm writing the code for a virtual online gallery, yes, way back in the year 2000. In the end, I won some awards for it, but it was really too early. We still had dial-up, and I needed bandwidth. I published a monthly free art magazine that was delivered over email. I called it Still, and I'm proud of it. Musicians started sharing their music online. Record labels freaked out. They could no longer sell bits of plastic for £10 a pop. They raided teenage girls in backwater towns who downloaded Britney Spears. Robin Hooding it. Copyright privacy is theft, they screamed at the start of every movie. But is it? Is it theft? Or is it copying? I've got a bike. You can ride it if you like. I've only got one. If you steal it, I won't have it. Then it will be gone. I've got a song. I can copy it for you. Then I've got one. And you've got one too. Aren't we both better off? Anyway, social media arrives. Lady Gaga meets her audience. Charlie XCX takes her fans on a wild ride. And Bieber sings his little heart out for Scooter on YouTube. Aaron publishes the Guerrilla Open Access Manifesto in 2008. He puts it much better than I ever could. Information is power, but like all power, there are those who want to keep it for themselves. The manifesto calls for removing barriers to scholarly and cultural information, even if this involves civil disobedience or breaking restrictive copyright rules. Point taken, Mr. Schwartz. I'm on it and I won't stop. The mediation grows. Dopamine is the drug. We scroll to our doom. The craving for the next hit of internet in a sea of mediocre images. TikTok and Insta tell us to perfect the hook. The platform is the middleman. It's the curator, the canonizer, the gatekeeper, the judge, and the jury. It's your boss, and the relationship is toxic. If you make something that really stimulates the addiction molecule in users, we will reward you. We'll give you fame and fortune. We'll put your work in front of the world. Post something stupid and 2.8 million people will see it. Post something real and 50 of your followers might see it if you're lucky. There's been a change. Your followers don't see what you do anymore. They're not like email subscribers. There's no guarantee what you make will make it through. The new middleman is the algorithm. And you don't get paid to make crack for it to push to kids. But you get your share of the dope in the shape of likes and reach. Lost. Before you know it, You're in a room surrounded by people who don't know you, having to perform an act that isn't you. Aaron is in a cupboard at MIT. He's pulling more academic journals than you can imagine into his laptop. You see, he's at a mega uni, and he's got the privilege of being able to access articles you and me can't. We'd have to pay, and a lot for it. So he's grabbing the lot, and he's going to liberate it. The FBI-shaped eye in the sky swoops. His manifesto is waved around in court. He's looking at 30 years. That's more than Diddy in jail, and $1 million fine. That's 2 times Diddy. Aaron committed suicide in 2013. And Facebook seized algorithmic control of Instagram. Platforms started cannibalizing the open web, and the owners of knowledge, surveillance, and attention colonized the landscape. Aaron never got to see TikTok, thanks God. And me? Well, I've abandoned the socials. Nobody there knew who I was anyway, it turned out. So here I am, writing longer, going deeper, and this, at least for now, will be the place online you can find me. So if you enjoyed that article, please consider subscribing so you get to hear other recordings that I make of my other articles. And if you do want to get involved in the articles themselves, please head over to diaryofanartist.co.uk. You can read all the articles I've written and see all the pretty pictures. It'd be lovely to see you over there. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.